Hey, good evening and welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. When I first met Beth, I was intent on being a writer, and I'd written several books. Nowadays, because of the change in, the internet has brought so many changes in our lives that it's hard to appreciate it sometimes, or to even grasp how big the changes are. But one of the biggest changes is that people don't need to go to a traditional publisher who can screw them around endlessly. Now, one of the turning points was that a famous writer, I think it was Stephen King, he decided that he was going to publish and give the book away online. Don't quote me as being totally accurate on this, but that's what I remember. May have been Stephen King or not, but Stephen King was a very famous writer and a best-selling author, and when he decided that he would publish his own book and do it online, it heralded a very important change in the way that things are done. Now, I put my books online, and my books are on Amazon, and what I try to do, my influences are John Steinbeck. That's my main influence, who I thought was such an incredible writer. But there's also Truman Capote. There's a lot of writers. At one point, because I felt that I really needed to educate myself, I'm not an educated man. In fact, at one time I posted myself as a common man leading an uncommon life, which I thought was accurate. So I decided that I would read a lot of books, and I did, and I made a point of asking. Obviously, in Fort Myers, there was an incredible library very close to where I was. I'd get on my bike, ride down there. I'd have access not only to computers and online, but an incredible collection of books. So I went down and I read voraciously, and I read the stories of all of the great writers. John Steinbeck was one. Truman Capote, I discovered Truman Capote for me much later. I read Mark Twain. I read one of the books that I read was a collection of short stories, of which there was something like 80 to 100 short stories by really diverse authors, from John Steinbeck to Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Solzhenitsyn wrote books from being imprisoned in these Siberian prison camps in the Soviet Union, and so his extremely sobering books for sure. But I wrote, one of my favourite books was Catch-22, and Catch-22 was really the life work of Joseph Heller. He wrote other books, but Catch-22 could never be eclipsed. It was incredible, and I've used Catch-22 to illustrate certain points that I've been trying to make, and it's easy to do it with a great author, because you can take almost any part of the book and you can read from that 2 pages. I did this a little while ago from East of Eden, The Grapes of Wrath. There were 2 incredibly good books that were long. Somebody apparently has bought The Grapes of Wrath and said, well, it's a big job ahead, and it is, but the rewards of reading something truly wonderful are incredible. Well, anyway, I made up my mind. I was in the process of doing that, and one of the things about Beth at the time was that she had a really good mind for marketing. And the kettle is boiling, honey. Hello.
Oh yeah?
Kettle is boiling.
Love you, darling.
Beth has learned to tune out the, you know that we are programmed to hear certain sounds, like a mother is programmed to hear the cry of her child. She cannot not hear it, no matter what's going on. And Beth has programmed out the sound of the kettle whistling, because it means that the coffee is ready to be made, and it's her turn. So, what was I talking about? I was talking about short stories. What was the best, when I mentioned to my friend Daniel the best of the short stories, he said the best and shortest story he ever heard was For Sale, Baby Boots, Never Worn. I'll say that again. For sale, baby boots, never worn. That's an incredible short story. And I got another short story. Dare I even try? I wrote down the words for this because I knew some of the words, as most of us know some of the words of songs, but not all of them. But this is an incredible short story. It's a song. It's an incredible short story. I will, obviously I'm not, I don't have any accompaniment, so it's a cappella. But this one, I'm sure that you'll know. She was 5 and I was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. She wore black and I wore white. She would always win the fight. Bang, bang. She shot me down. Bang, bang. I hit the ground. Bang, bang. That awful sound. Bang, bang. My baby shot me down. Seasons came and changed the time. When I grew up I called her mine. She would always laugh and say, remember when we used to play? Bang, bang, I shot you down. Bang, bang, you hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I used to shoot you down. Music played and people sang. Just for me the church bells rang. Just for me the church bells rang. Now she's gone, I don't know why. Until this day sometimes I cry. She didn't stop to say goodbye. She didn't even try to lie. Bang, bang, she shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down. My baby shot me down. It's a perfect short story. It tells you everything. It tells you everything, all from a little game that two kids used to play that carried on throughout their lives. A little thing, I will beg your indulgence and I'll read you something that I wrote. It seems to me, I listened to some of the great film directors, and one of the most popular themes was taking an ordinary person and putting them in an extraordinary situation. North by Northwest was one of the most famous, where this man suddenly finds himself in this incredible adventure, and we are taken in by it because we can identify with an ordinary man being placed in an extraordinary situation. This is called The Soldier. He had been standing to attention for what seemed an eternity. Behind him, the palace, dark and silent. It was midnight, and all was well, except he longed for something, without knowing what. Most people would have seen him as being splendid, to be admired. Everything about him was perfect, from his shining bearskin headdress to his gleaming black boots. Red tunic with brass buttons and a white belt, and dark blue trousers with red stripe sharply creased. He held his rifle in the regulation way, never wavering for a moment. The perfect guardsman. He had never once deserted his post. Dark eyes looked straight ahead, but saw everything. Stomach in, shoulders back, straight and true. But if things had been different, he might, he thought, have been anything. His belief in the infinite possibilities untroubled by doubts. His God held all hearts in one hand. In the streets the rain fell steadily, lonely pools of light around each street lamp, in which every drop of rain became a falling star. He longed for his freedom, to be able to walk his own path, far from palaces and kings. But this was folly for the soldier. For him, life or death held no meaning. In his hand, the rifle weighed nothing. He felt no fatigue, no joy, no sweet sorrow. To crave a smile or even a frown, to feel a tear on his cheek. This was, he knew, against all the rules. Came the dawn, and life stirred sleepily, and as the world stretched itself to meet the new day, it was struck savagely by an eruption of shattering violence. He was lifted bodily and flung through a window into a room in the palace. As he lay there, face down, in broken glass and debris, his body twisted and broken, his rifle torn from his grasp, he heard, fading into the distance, the sound of a small child laughing cruelly. There was no blood, no pain, no fear. He knew, as always, he would feel nothing. He was, after all, only a toy soldier. So I found that taking an ordinary thing and putting it in an extraordinary situation was a way of creating a story. And I thought that you might enjoy listening to that. So thanks for listening, and I will do other stories, and I have another story that I would like you to listen to, which I will do in another video. So thanks for looking in and watching and listening. Bye for now.